Prep series. Hey guys, welcome to my interview prep series videos. Today I'm going to be solving the lattice path problem. So first of all, let's understand the problem. So say we have a 2x2 grid. Now, starting in the top left corner and only being able to move right and down, we want to find all the possible routes that we can get from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. So from top left corner to the bottom right corner, there are exactly 6 routes. So what we want to figure out is how many such routes are there in an n by m grid. So the inputs are going to be m and n, and they're going to be integers. The output is also going to be an integer, and it's going to be the number of unique paths from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. In this video, we're going to be examining the top-down approach. So let's examine what happens in a top-down approach. The main difference is going to be we're going to be starting from the destination point, and instead of moving right and down, we're going to be moving up and left until we hit 0, 0, or the starting point. Now, let's look at what our base case is in the top-down approach. The first one is when we finish a complete path. How do we know that? We know that when we are at, so we say the first base case is when m and n are equal to 0. The second base case is making sure that we don't go out of boundary. How do we make sure of that? By making sure that m or n are not less than 0. So now, let's show a visual representation of the recursive cases. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that by drawing a recursive tree. So in the top-down approach, we're actually going to be starting from the indices m and n. Let's assume that m and n are equal to 2. So we can move up or we can move left, and we can finish the branches until we hit the base cases following the same recursive cases. So what are we going to return here when we hit the base cases? So when we hit the base case 0, 0, meaning that we have finished one complete path, we will return 1. We're returning 1 here because this represents one entire path, and at the end we can sum up all of the complete paths and return the total, which is going to be the value of a scope variable that's going to be counting the number of paths. In this case, we will return 0 when we hit the boundary base case. This will propagate up, and with all the branches completed the same way, we will return the number of all the possible paths from the base point to the indices m and n. Now, before we jump into the algorithm, let's write out what's our recursive steps. This should make a little more sense after doing the recursive tree. So the recursive case is going to be calling the function itself, decrementing the rows and the columns separately. So before I start writing out the algorithm, I want to explain something. This problem is from Hackerrank website, and I'm writing it in JavaScript. The way JavaScript parses your input will make for a different solution, and I'm going to be showing you guys that at the end of this video. But for now, I will show you the solution that would work in your IDE. We're calling the function lattice paths, and our inputs are going to be m and n. First, we need to write our base cases. So we had two boundary cases. The first one is going to be for boundaries reached. The second one was when destination was reached. Which was when m and n were equal to 0. Then we need to write our recursive steps. So our recursive steps for moving up is decrementing m by 1, and moving left is decrementing n by 1. And then lastly, we want to make sure we return. So what do we want to return? That is the summation of up plus left. Alright, so the way the recursive cases are going to be working here, and the whole concept of recursive call stacks waiting until one call is finished and the next stack completing after is completed was discussed in more detail in another video of mine. So I think that'll be it for this video. I will now show you guys the solution to this problem in Hackerrank. But that's just because I struggled with it myself, and I want to leave you guys with as little struggle with this problem as possible, whether it's in your personal IDE or if it's in Hackerrank. However, after that, that'll be the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and As always, I hope you learned a lot and happy coding!